Now we need to choose the editing software which we are going to use for this course. And I want to guide you in 5 minutes on how to choose the best software for you. There are only two variables to take into consideration when choosing your editing software, which are how much money are you willing to spend for the software, for example, for a monthly subscription or for a lifetime purchase, and how powerful is your PC. Because some editing software are more powerful and allow you to do more stuff, but they require more of your hardware power. So if you do not even have a PC and you're just on your phone, or you have a used laptop that has 4 gigabytes of RAM, that's what I consider no hardware or not well performing hardware. And your main goal, if you have an hardware like that, is to reinvest in better hardware as soon as you get some money from your short form content. Whether you're editing for a client or for your personal brand and you sign up some clients or you're coaching or whatever you're doing. That should be your first priority. So let's go over the worst case scenario. We have no hardware and no money. So we only have our phone and we have $0 in our bank account. What's the best app to use? It's CapCut from mobile. So what you would do in this case is go ahead and download CapCut on your phone and I'll show you how to use it. That's your best choice. Even though it's free, it allows you to have a lot of features and you can level up your edits a lot with this software. That's exactly what I have done because I had a terrible PC. I could not run any other editing software. So I used CapCut. I made some money with freelancing, and then I reinvested everything in a new PC to upgrade. That's the best way to go about it. Now let's go over the second scenario. Let's say I'm willing to invest around $50 a month for a subscription for an editing software which is better, but I have no hardware once again. So we have no hardware, which is either a phone or a bad PC, and we have some money that we're willing to spend. Not much, let's say $60 a month, which is $2 a day, right? It's not much. Well, in that case, you should use CapCut once again. Why should you use CapCut? Because even if you would buy something like Premiere Pro or in Adobe software in general, you wouldn't be able to run it to its full potential, and you would only be limited to the features that are available on CapCut, because the more advanced features would require you more computing power and you would struggle and crash and it would be a terrible experience. And just because CapCut is free doesn't mean that it's bad. It's actually a really good editing software. I do not want you to underestimate the power of CapCut. But now let's go over the third scenario. So I have no money, maybe I'm a 16-year-old that doesn't have a credit card, but I have hardware because maybe my parents have bought me a gaming PC and I have some good hardware, but I have no credit card. I can't even spend $1 a month. This can happen. So what do you do in this case? You use DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is the most resourceful editing software which is free. It allows you to do some really cool stuff. There is a panel called Fusion in DaVinci Resolve, and it allows you to do some really, really cool and amazing effects. However, if you do not have the hardware to support it, it's not worth it. You need at least 8 gigabytes of RAM and an E5, E7 processor, something like that. You can ask GPT to give you some specifics, but if you're going to use Fusion with a bad PC, I have tried personally, you're going to get a bad output because your computer cannot export your clips properly. So once again, if you have the hardware and you have zero money, like in the 16-year-old case that I've mentioned, feel free to go ahead and use DaVinci. Otherwise, if you do not have the hardware, go with CapCut. And then we get into the last case, which is I have $50 to spend and I have a good PC. So let's say you have a credit card and a good gaming PC. What should you use? It's Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro is the industry standard. You can also share timelines with Premiere Pro, with other editors once you're going to launch a team. So it's going to be way easier and you're going to thank yourself for learning Premiere Pro in advance. I didn't and I suffered from it. So keep this in mind. And once you have learned Premiere Pro, you can also go as far as creating more advanced stuff in After Effects. But I haven't included it in this list because After Effects is the most advanced software out of them. You can do some really cool 3D camera stuff, really advanced. But if you're just starting out, which you probably are if you're watching this masterclass, you should not go ahead and use After Effects because it's going to be a really complicated software, which is going to take you around 3 to 4 weeks to learn how to do the basics. So I highly suggest you not to use After Effects, but to stick to Premiere Pro for now. Now that you have chosen your specific software, here's what you're going to do in this course. I'm going to use CapCut throughout the whole way. You can apply the same principles on DaVinci and Premiere Pro. The tools are there. I am just using the worst software so that even people with no hardware and no money can follow along. The next 2 lessons will be 1, a breakdown of CapCut in your phone and the basic tools, and 1 will be a breakdown of the tools in CapCut PC. You only need to watch one of them. So let's say, for example, you have a decent laptop, just watch the introduction on desktop. Let's say you want to use your phone, go ahead and watch the lesson on phone. The rest of the course will be taught in desktop because it's going to be 16:9 and I will be able to show you in widescreen, so it's going to be more clear. But keep in mind that all of the features that I'll use will be presented in the first lesson where I break down the interface from the phone. So make sure to watch the introductory lesson of the version of the software that you'll use, and then you'll be able to find all of the functions that I highlight in the desktop version, also in the mobile version. So now that you have chosen your editing software, I'll see you in the next lesson.